when Cyberstorm Access comes out and we have all the new Super Heavy Samurai cards along with the new archetypes and stuff, I think there could be a surgence of board breakers. I could see a lot of people siding Lava Golems, Fear Mode, Dark Ruler, No Mores. And so I wanted to show you guys a combo for the Super Heavy Samurai deck that kind of plays around the existence of said board breakers. To start, I'm just going to have the Soul Piercer. You can do it with any one card combo piece in the deck. This is just the one I'm going to use to showcase. And I got 4 vanillas in hand to symbolize my hand. Don't take, like, when you see my extra deck and deck too seriously. I'm still working through and testing stuff. This is mainly to show you guys this combo. So, to lead, I'm going to summon the Soul Piercer. It's pretty generic from the start. If you know how the deck functions, you know roughly what I'm going to be doing for the first couple actions. We're going to trigger Soul Piercer to search after making the link 1. Grab Bike, pitch Bike, grab Prodigy, scale Prodigy, Prodigy effect to special by placing the Monk from deck. If you guys aren't aware of how these cards function and you're watching this as a tutorial like on how the deck works, watch my other video on the deck, honestly. This is mainly just about how we're going to play this combo through board breakers, so I'm not explaining every card. Monk to search. Monk is going to grab the Soul Peacemaker. Kind of random, but I used to think maybe you're not supposed to use Soul Peacemaker yet and you hold it, but I think technically, I used to think you're not supposed to use Monk here yet, but I think you're supposed to just use it right away, get your search. Next we're going to use this. Discard one of our cards in hand. It's a 1.5 card combo. We just have the other 3 for, you'll see why. You'll see why I put the vanillas in hand. We're going to turn this guy in the, I'm just going to move him here. We're going to use the Prodigy, the Soul Piercer to make, I had to make sure I don't bite. Might be. To make Excel Stardust. And then we're going to go Soul Piercer 1, Access 2, target Bike, Prodigy 3 to scale itself. So we're going to get this out. We're going to get our search. The search is going to grab Spy. And then here we're going to turn these into Baron de Fleur. This is still all pretty generic. Activate Peacemaker, tribute the link, summon Scales from deck. Wherever my Scales is. Here he is. Scales going to bring back Soul Piercer. We're going to turn these into the Ancient Gear Ballista. I accidentally sent it to Grave. Ancient Gear Ballista 1, Piercer 2. So we're going to add Box. We're going to add Wagon. And we're going to add off of the Box, we're going to add Tunneler. I think Wagon's just the best one to search here for your Pendulum Summon because it's the one that's going to give you another search too. Next, we're going to special Spy. Also, in this particular combo, it does need to be Wagon. Sometimes I see people grab other ones, but Wagon's just crazy. So we're going to special the Spy. Turn these into the Genius. And then we'll conduct our Pendulum Summon. We'll summon these 3. And this is still off the 1.5 card. You do not need a Pendulum anything that you started with. That's why I made sure these monsters were all level 8. I couldn't legally Pendulum if I wanted to. So we're going to Genius search here. Grab ourselves the Regulus. And then we're going to use this to search. Switch it to attack. Add the, I forget its name, but the one that equips and then specials itself. This guy, Soul Gaia. And, from here, the boards that aren't playing around Dark Ruler would typically turn these 4 into a, either turn these 4 into an Appaloosa for 4, or have, like, maybe made an Appaloosa for 3, special this and made a rank 4 or something. But the way that we're playing it, because we're trying to play around Dark Ruler, Lava Golems, Fear Mode, is we're going to turn all 4, or not yet. I tricked you big time. This is actually really important for you to see, too. So first we're going to Regulus. We're going to special the Regulus. We're going to equip the Piercer before we do what I was about to say. And then you Baron pop the Piercer, specifically searching Bike. And then from here you do what I was about to say. Instead of making like an Appaloosa, we're going to turn all 4 of these into the Skull Dread. And the reason this is helping play around those board breakers is because Skull Dread, draw 4, put 3 back, you're going to draw hand traps. If these 3 cards aren't hand traps, you should hopefully hit hand traps and do it so that if you get board breakered, you're still going to have hand traps to stop them. So like for this example, let's see what we would get. And see, 3 hand traps here. Put back these normals that we started with. And now we sculpted our hand from not being great against Dark Ruler to being insane against Dark Ruler because they still have to play through 3 interruptions. Obviously, it's RNG dependent in this part, but that's not all. We also are going to get the Tunneler draw. So then we're going to banish Tunneler and have a chance to see even more hand traps. And a quick note, this I will go into a little bit of detail. When I use Tunneler, I play one of this in my current build, so I'm putting this back. I play one of this, so I'm putting this back. It could change for you, but then you can also put this back, and then I would put extra deck back so you have a better chance to draw hand traps. If you have a hand where you're lacking engine, though, you can put back like bike and stuff to try to draw engine. So we'll throw these back. Shuffle up. 2 more draws. And then an additional way that I've added to the deck to be able to play around something like a Dark Ruler. At first that was it. I was like, 2 Omnis. I'm not going to put a lot on the board. That way their Dark Ruler is not as impactful against me. But then I realized that with the Bike and the Soul Gaia, there was still a play I can make that still plays around Dark Ruler. We can use the Skull Dread to summon Bike. Bike raise its level by 2. And then equip Soul Gaia, Special Soul Gaia, and actually make Psyframe Omega. And there's 2 things that I think are very, very interesting about this card. Thing 1 is that if you did this, right, and say this was not done just through 1 card, say you started playing, they hand trapped you, maybe they hand trapped you once or twice, but you were still able with extenders to get to this point, and you think they don't have board breakers, you can hold them, not use the effect on your turn, and wait till their standby phase and put Tunneler back. But if they have not hand trapped you, you did this all off 1 card, and you're confident in like the amount of follow-up you have, you're confident with your hand, or maybe you're confident with your follow-up, but not as confident with your hand traps, that's when on your turn you can still use your Omega and banish a card from their hand and either hit the board breaker or hit one of their engine pieces. Because if you hit an engine piece and then they Dark Ruler you, they only have 4 cards to play, and you hopefully drew a bunch of hand traps. And so that is currently how I'm trying to play around the board breakers. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Also, if there's other stuff you want to see how to play around, let me know. And I will leave the link to my Discord in the description of this if you want to come talk about post-cyber, Storm Access format, or playtest. Thank you for watching.